I am going to show you how you can easily make a cedar planter box that can also serve as a side table for less than $15. And these are very versatile planters that you can even use around your gazebo. I hope you enjoy. Lowe's sells some really beautiful pre-made 12-inch cedar wood planters for $92.72. However, as I said earlier, we can make one for less than $15. You will need a 6-foot unfinished cedar dog ear fence picket, which you can purchase at Lowe's for $3.48, as well as furring strips. Now you can get a 1x2x8 at Lowe's for $1.48. I am going to be using 1x3x8s, which I did purchase at Lowe's, but they don't have them online. But Home Depot does have them online for $2.47 each. If you have a table saw and you want the entire planter box to be all cedar, you could rip down some of the dog-eared fence boards into the width that you need. Because these cedar fence boards are very rough, you'll definitely want to sand them before you make any cuts. You can do that using an electric sander. I do, however, have a planer, which is going to make my job so much easier just by feeding these boards into the planer a couple of times. It's going to make them nice and smooth on one side and really bring out that cedar color. It's only necessary to sand one side because the back side you'll never even see. That'll be on the inside of the planter. And because these fence boards tend to be a little bit bowed, I did have to run mine through about 3 to 4 times for each board to really get a nice smooth finish. And I am going to do that for all of my cedar boards because I will be creating 5 separate planters. One will be a planter slash side table, and the other 4 will be to go around the posts on our gazebo. To make our planter slash side table, you'll need a brad nailer with 1-inch nails, a waterproof exterior glue, which you can find at Lowe's. I have already made my cuts for the fence board. I cut 8 of those at 15 inches each. And for the 1x3 furring strips, I cut 8 of those at 12 inches each. Now you'll lay 2 of your fence boards like this, very close together, and you want the smooth side facing you. Take your 1x3 strips. You're going to be placing one on each side. Using your wood glue, go over the 2 boards on each side. Then you're going to line up your furring strips. Now these tend to have a little bit rounded edge on one side, so I put that to the outside. Line it up even with the top and the sides. And then using the brad nailer, I'm going to put 4 in each board just to make sure it stays in place. This is mostly just going to be held together with the wood glue. The brad nailer is really just going to kind of keep it in place there until all that wood glue sets up. Repeat that on the opposite side. So it's going to be looking a little bit like this. I do have an overhang at the bottom. This will be the feet for our planter. And you're going to create another one just like this. Using another furring strip, we are going to flip this over to the side, and using wood glue, we're going to attach that furring strip to not only the boards on the inside, but also the furring strip on the outside. So it's going to create somewhat like an L. Just make sure that it is flush to the outside edge of the original furring strip as well as the top and the bottom. Then add in some brad nails. I added those from one furring strip to the other furring strip. Then we're going to flip it over to the opposite side and do the exact same thing by adding glue, another furring strip, making sure it's flush to the outside edge, as well as adding some brad nails. You can also go back and add brad nails from the furring strip into the cedar boards if you like. So this is what it's going to look like from the front, and then this is the side. And this is what the inside of the planter box will look like. You'll do the exact same thing for the other set and the last two furring strips. So you're going to have two pieces that look just like this. Now we're going to turn each one onto its side so that we can add two more of those cedar boards. You want to be mindful of where the top and the bottom are. So right now you are looking at the bottom as closest to you. And also be mindful about your wood, which side is smooth and which side is rough. You want the smooth facing outward and the rough facing inward. We're going to go ahead, place the wood glue, and then add that board, making it flush to the top of each of those pieces. Hold it in place with some brad nails. Again, this is the rough side because that's going to be on the inside of the planter box. Then you can take the second board, make sure it is nice and snug to the previous board, and then go ahead and add your brad nails to that one as well. So now it is three-sided. When we flip it over, the outside is a little bit flimsy, so I'm going to go ahead and add some more brad nails from the furring strip into the cedar boards just to give it some stability. And I'll do that on the other side as well. Then we're going to flip it over so that we can add our last two cedar boards. So it's going to look like this. Now you're looking at the top, which is closest to you. So always keep that in mind so you can make sure that your boards are flush to the top and you have your extra for your foot space down at the bottom. Again, be mindful that you are putting the smooth sanded side facing outward and the rough side facing inward. Go ahead and line your two boards up, make sure everything's nice and snug, and add in some brad nails. Now you have your four-sided planter box like this. Now I am going to make a top for mine because I want mine to actually sit over top of a flower pot. Now, if you wanted to actually plant something in yours, you can make some braces and put some boards at the bottom so that you could actually put some plastic or fabric in there and then put dirt and plant flowers. Using my miter saw, I am going to cut some more of those cedar boards and I want them 45 on each end. So the longest measurement of the 45 on the board is 18.5 inches and the shortest measurement is 7 3/8 of an inch. And I am going to cut four of those. So that just depends on how big of an opening that you want on the inside of your planter box. If you're actually planning on planting flowers in there, you would want to make it much more narrow. But since I am going to set mine over a flower pot and use it as a side table, I wanted mine to be very wide. I'm going to set these on top of my box just to make sure everything's going to line up before I glue and nail anything down. Once I know that it's all perfectly going to line up, I'm going to go ahead and glue and nail that first board down. Once it's securely in place, then you can just rotate it around and add your other ones, just making sure that you line it up with the first one. And I'm going to continue to do that until I have all four of these boards down. This particular piece, I was able to cut all of these cedar pieces out of three of the fence boards, and all of the 1x3 furring strips were cut out of one 8-foot piece. So as you can see here, the shortest of the 45 is 7 3/8 of an inch, and the longest is 18.5 inches. Now, because I only added the brad nails to the furring strips on the outside, I did go back and add one in the center of each of these top boards into the cedar board underneath, just to make it a little more sturdy. To protect the wood, I highly recommend that you put some sort of sealer on there. I'm going to be using this exterior sealer that is clear because I love the color of the cedar. It will only make it just a tint darker. And this is how it turned out. I set mine directly over top of a potted plant that I already have. And the beauty of this plan is that you can make those legs as tall as you want. So you could really use this as a side table as well because you have all of that space at the top with the way we added those cedar boards on the top. Now make sure you stay tuned because I want to show you how you can actually make one just like this to go around posts, such as around a gazebo. This year, for my husband's birthday and Father's Day gift, I purchased him a gazebo from Amazon. I'll leave a link to that in my description box below if you guys are interested. He loves to cook on the grill, and for many years he stood outside on the patio with no protection from any of the elements. So I thought this would just be perfect to be able to place a grill under and add some seating and really get him out of the elements and protect him from the beating down sun. It was super easy to put together. He and I both had it together in less than 8 hours. And because we didn't put it on a concrete pad, we leveled it up after the frame was put together. We anchored it to some concrete that he put around the posts. We really didn't like the way that looked, so that is where these planter box ideas came from. So now I am going to go ahead and make 4 more planters so that I'll be able to place these around these posts. I made 4 more boxes. This time I made them a little bit larger so that they would fit around the concrete and the post. I did not attach the last side. That way I could slide it around the post, then add my glue and my last 2 cedar boards. I did slide the bottom one in first, then place the top one, line it up where it is level with the top, add my brad nails, and then I could push that bottom piece up flush to the top piece and add my brad nails to that. I created the top pieces. This time, the longest end of the 45 was 23 inches and the shortest was 12 inches. And sometimes when you don't have extra hands, you have to get a little creative by sitting things on there to kind of balance it out so that I could go ahead and add my glue and brad nails to hold all of those top pieces. I went ahead and finished up the other 3 planter boxes by adding that fourth side as well as the tops. I also have already added a clear coat sealant to the wood frame of the gazebo as well as all of these planter boxes. And once that was dry, I went ahead and removed all of the blocks that I had underneath it to keep grass from getting on the stain. Before I decorate the planter boxes, I did add in some solar lights, and I found these on Amazon, and it's just like a dim light at night, and it does come with a remote control. So I will have that linked in my description box below if you guys are interested in that. It just provides a little bit of ambient light at night. I also repurposed one of the roller shades that we had on our back porch, and I ordered another shade on the right-hand side there, but it doesn't exactly match, and I'm okay with that because it really does help keep the sun from just beating down through the gazebo, especially when you're out there cooking. So now it is time to put some faux flowers in the planter boxes, and I'm going to show you exactly how I did that. Using a pool noodle from Dollar Tree, scissors, zip ties, 10 snips, some faux flowers, and greenery, which I got from Amazon, and I'll leave those linked as well. I'm going to cut the pool noodle about 3.5 inches, and I'm going to cut 4 pieces of that. I'm going to show you what I did for just one of the planters, and I'll repeat that for all 4 planters. So you'll need 4 pieces of the pool noodle for one planter. Then I'm going to take 5 zip ties, but if you have longer zip ties, you could certainly use less. And I'm going to feed those in end to end to make one long zip tie. Then I'm going to put each of the pool noodles onto that long zip tie. Now I'm going to wrap that zip tie around the post and tighten one end. Then you'll want to make sure you have a section of pool noodle on each side of the post. Then you can go back and tighten each of those ends up, push them down slightly so they're below the top level of the planter, and then cut all of the excess zip tie away. Because the faux flower bundles that I purchased came 16 in a pack, I ordered 2 of those so that I would be able to place 2 in each of the pool noodles, so it's gonna be a total of 8 bundles of flowers in each planter. And I kinda coordinated the colors on each opposite side. Once I kind of fluffed each one of those bundles out, I'm going to take some of that hanging greenery that I have, bend the stem over and tuck that down into the pool noodle and kind of wrap it around. This is going to help hide the white pool noodle and also kind of fill it in. And it only took 2 of these hanging stems per planter. I hope you enjoyed today's video, found some inspiration. Let me know what you think and how these planners turned out, and if you plan on making one for yourself. I also asked ChatGPT to add in some seating to see what it would look like, and this is how it turned out. Thank you guys so much for spending time with me today. Please take care, and I'll see you guys next time.